Step number 4 is to surround yourself with the right people to help you get to utopia, this vision of your ideal life. I recommend organizing your contacts into 3 groups. The first one, being in business, it's okay. We can be here to make money and to be successful. So I want you to arrange a group of ideal customers. Your ideal customers are the people where it just clicks. You contact them, you email them, and you just get it. It's a quick conversation, and you're right on top of each other, and you know what's happening, and you know what they expect, and they know what they're getting from you, and they appreciate it, and they value your service. And when your bill comes, they pay it without questioning because they know who you are. Now, a lot of people mistakenly work on any customer. I can track to whoever, I can serve widgets to whatever, I can do PR for any company out there. But the truth is, there are companies that you work for that you spend twice as much time for the same amount of money, and that means they're not profitable for you. And that means you're not a good connection for them either. So do what's best. Cut those relationships and really focus in on your ideal customers. Know who they are, know what they value, know where you can find them so you can find more of them, because we want to bring in those ideal customers. We want you to build a network of peers. Now, your network of peers are the people sitting all around you today, because they're here to help you advance yourself as well as the industry. They might be friendly competition, but they're friendly competition that's going to help you get ahead and achieve success. If you're in a group where you find cutthroat competition, you probably want to get out of that group because it's just not going to be friendly and it's not going to help you get ahead. Your network of peers is also going to be a resource when you need a skill set that you don't have. They're going to teach you about Google Analytics and Google Trends like Eric did. They're going to teach you how to write a press release like Connie did. They're going to teach you about branding like Cyndee did. Oh, she's so great. I also want you to create a group of inspirational contacts. These are your mentors, your civic groups, your family, your religious associations. Anyone who you leave the contact going, oh, that was a great meeting. I can just take on today. I just feel so great about the possibilities of the world. Anyone who leaves you feeling like that, that's an inspirational contact. And you need to surround yourself by these people, not necessarily because you're going to get business, and not necessarily because they're going to tell you how to do your business better, but because they leave you inspired and passionate about what you do. And that passion is going to shine through with your ideal customers and with your network of peers, and it's going to make the stars come together and shine on you. Ultimately, though, with these 3 groups, if you sit there and don't pick up the phone, you're just going to lose them. So you need to make sure to build relationships with them. Pick up the phone, send an email just to say hi, and keep those relationships strong. Now, many business professionals also spend time focusing on their elevator speeches. Number 5 is brand you must be simple, short, and strong. And when we're building that brand and we're building that simple, short, and strong message, we can't neglect the overall package. First impressions matter. I was working on a campaign last year. I was on 3 election campaigns last year. And one of the campaign managers brought in a worker from out of state to help drum up support in the community. I showed up to our coffee meeting to kind of get the pulse of where things were going and how we were going to work together. I was wearing a business suit and brought my iPad to take notes. He showed up in wrinkled shorts, a wrinkled shirt, bedhead, and he actually had eye crusties. It was awkward. It took 3 seconds for me to dismiss him as unreliable, and it took 3 months for me to get rid of him. He was definitely what the package projected. What I'm telling you, though, is think about your image. If you constantly look weary, tired, if you're constantly sucking down the Starbucks because we need that caffeine jolt, if you're constantly looking at your watch or anticipating those 1,000 emails that are awaiting your attention, you might think of how important you feel because, oh my gosh, so many people need you. But ultimately, the message that you're sending to them, the person you're with, is that they are not important to you. And that is not going to build a positive brand experience. Because ultimately, You want to develop a brand that leaves people feeling confident, inspired, and in charge of their lives. Number 6, smart brands speak up. Now, smart brands speak up not just in issuing a press release or bragging at the water cooler. They look for opportunities to build alliances and the little moments to share. They look for those social networks to engage and connect on. The blogs, the networking groups, all of those relationships. There are 100 times a day when someone asks, "How are you doing?" And you go, "Oh, good." And then you move on. That's an opportunity. It's a wasted opportunity. Next time someone asks, "How are you doing today?" "Great!" You can't believe what we just did with my latest client. We put together this campaign, and it got attention. It got all this media attention, brought in new customers. His phone's ringing off the hook. You just can't believe how successful that is. All of these little opportunities to add value and add encouragement to what you do in your day-to-day life. But it also shares this special little moment and connection with them, because now I'm so happy for you, and that's just great, and it energizes their day and makes you one of their inspirational contacts. Now, some business professionals are hesitant to brag about themselves. Bragging crosses the line into conceit only when you disregard other people and what they are doing. On the other hand, sharing that piece of who you are creates that memorable connection. You just have to think about it and pick that right time and pick the right message and be considerate of other people. Now, if you're still nervous about speaking up, think about life as a surprise party. How many of you have ever planned a surprise party? I see lots of hands and smiles. First, you start planning the party, and you think about, okay, someone is their 50th anniversary, and you get excited. It's so special, and you want to share in that moment with them. And you create the vision in your head. You're thinking about how important it is going to be to connect to them. And when they walk in the room, and they're so surprised because they didn't know you thought so much about them, and you brought together all the people, and you get excited just thinking about that vision. Guess what? That's the vision of your life. Think about your life in those terms. What's that surprise moment that you're going to be so happy with? Next, they put together the tools and the supplies they need to make the party successful. That's getting your resources and so forth. Next, they bring in the network, people who are going to help make the party a success. The person who's going to distract the surprisee. You've got the people who are going to do decorations, someone who's going to get that gluten-free cake for Betty because she can't eat, flour, regular cake. We know about these things. Now, when you ask them to help, what's their reaction? Not a trick question, folks. They're happy, right? Well, some of them are going to roll their eyes and say, "Oh, gosh, another party. But they're going to be happy because you let them in on that special moment. And when you send out updates and you start telling people, "Oh, this is what we've achieved. This is what we've gotten done. This is where we're at with the party," what's their reaction? Builds anticipation, builds excitement. They're happy to be there for you. And then on the day of the party, what's their reaction? They share in that moment, that magical moment that Disney is so famous for. And you built that. Now, if you can think of your life and think of your utopia in these kind of terms, you can build that surprise party and build the network of people that are going to come with you and be there to celebrate your success at the end. All right, we've set our goals, we built our brand, we hit utopia, we love it, we're in this great ideal sense. Now we've got to stay relevant. But how do we stay relevant? You listen and take action. Remember in the beginning we asked some questions and we had our confidants that told us that honest feedback? That wasn't a one-time shot. I want you to keep asking those questions. Now, one of the great companies that's done this is Gatorade. And this is their space center called Mission Control. A few years ago, Gatorade realized they were getting ready to launch the G Series drinks, and they set up a social media control center to connect with their customers. Now, their goal wasn't to build 1,000 followers. Their goal wasn't to get out 150 tweets a day. Their goal was to engage their customers, to listen and respond, and to elevate that industry. And the results were astounding. In 6 short months, they increased the amount of Twitter conversations about sports drinks from 35% to 60%. They nearly doubled the total conversations about sports drinks. That's amazing. They shaped the dialogue because they could listen and engage. Now, I'm asking you to take those contacts you started with and turn them into your brain trust so that you can come back to them and ask questions. What kind of image am I projecting? Is there anything that you think I still need to work on? What about trends in the marketplace? What are you seeing? Do you see any competitors getting up on me? Taking an advantage that I should be watching out for? Because from the outside looking in, they're going to be able to help you keep your game on. Now, there are plenty of professional peer groups that you can join, and you can find them at a cost of $10,000, $20,000, even $40,000 a year. And executives pay that because they get the valuable feedback that they're not getting inside their companies. And there can be incredible value in those kind of coaching peer groups. But if you take the time and if you have that strong intention and deliberation, you can build that network for yourself. All right. My hope for you too is that you're going to learn from your mistakes, choose your own path, be true to yourself, be passionate about what you do, and I hope that you can be you. Thank you so much for having me today.